Welcome to Build. I'm Laura Haywood, and as you know, it's Tony Awards season. The morning that the Tony nominations were announced, I screamed out loud because my friend Ariana DeBose was nominated for a Tony as Best Featured Actress in a Musical for Summer, the Donna Summer Musical. I'm thrilled that she's here to talk about her career and this incredible role today. Let's watch a clip of Ariana in Summer.
Good, I'm glad.
Man, you guys aren't having any fun at all up there, are you?
Nope, not one iota.
Is this the sparkliest show Broadway has ever seen?
It might be. I mean, between the disco balls and the crystals and the sequins.
Yeah.
It's pretty close.
You get to dress in some pretty fun costumes.
I do. Paul Taswell and his associate, Sumaku, really just outdid themselves.
Do you know how this color blue became the color of Summer, the Donna Summer Musical?
You know, I did hear tale that not only is it Dez's favorite color, or one of his favorite colors, it might also be Paul's husband's favorite color.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like both a nod to Dez and, you know, the love of Paul's life, which is lovely. And I think it's a little bit of him that he can have used in the show. But yeah, I think that's where it came from.
Well, it's beautifully used in the show because people who haven't seen it might not know there are actually 3 actresses playing Donna Summer. And we follow her trajectory no matter who's playing that role based on this iconic blue color that she always wears.
Yes, you do.
Tell us about the experience of being one of 3 women playing the same character in the same show.
You know, it's been really fun to collaborate with my counterparts, LaShance and Storm Lever. I think when you're playing the same person, but at different points of her life, you, as individuals, as we as individual artists, have to create our own very specific point of view. Each one of us as Donnas has a different take on our life at that point. So we had to approach it as if we have our own journeys, but where's the common ground, right? So it's kind of fun. We do hang out and like we're very sisterly at times, but we do try to keep our distance in a way so that we just can observe each other. And it was funny, the other night I was looking at Storm and she did one little like tick, right? Or something. I think she was like pushing on her thigh.
And she plays little Donna.
She plays Duckling Donna.
Duckin'?
Duckling.
Oh, Duckling Donna.
Turducken, Duckin. No.
Duckling Donna.
Duckling
She's like
Donna.
as a little girl and
like
into her.
The ugly duckling, which is totally not true because she's stunning.
Yeah.
And then LaShance is Diva Donna. I think they were
Disco Donna.
Yes, I am Disco Donna. But we all sort of have found different gestures or specific examples of body language that we've adapted into our own tracks, which I think is really fun.
So you saw Storm do like a little tick.
Yeah, and then literally a scene or two later, LaShance did the same tick, and I was like, okay, I should do that one.
Yeah.
Somewhere within the show.
Do you think that was a coincidence? Do you think LaShance was observing Storm and picked it up?
I'm not sure. I'm really not sure at this point. You know, who knows? I think our Donna brain, we're very in tune with each other. So I think that's part of the whole journey. We do have an energy about the three of us, and when we're really in sync together, you have moments like that come forth.
You flow so seamlessly. The role flows so seamlessly between the three of you. It's almost like a masterclass to watch you all embody this woman, and you all have different looks as actresses, but yet you all resemble each other so fully when you're on stage. And I was sitting way up close, so it was not special effects; it was acting. You know,
I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that was part of the appeal. One of the first things we realized is, nope, not one of us looks like Donna, you know, but it's also not, that was not the point of our piece. None of us were hired to be impersonators. We're hired to capture her essence and present that on stage. So I think that's probably a testament to the design, the costume design, the hair, and, you know, the work we've really put into it.
You've been working on this for a long time. I remember a couple of years ago running into you like near a rehearsal space, and you were already working on this, and then you did it out of town. When did this Donna Summer journey for you start?
I love this question. I got the job the weekend of Hamiltony.
Really?
Yeah, I had auditioned for the workshop, and I had also auditioned for A Bronx Tale around the same time. So I was walking down the street with David Diggs. So this is June, you know what I'm saying? Walking down the street with David, we had gone to Chirping Chicken for dinner.
That's a restaurant.
That's a restaurant, if you don't know. And we had just left our Tony rehearsal. And I got a phone call telling me that I had gotten the job to play Disco Donna, and I had also booked A Bronx Tale.
Wow,
crazy?
You found out about both of these shows at the same time you're rehearsing your Tony's performance for Hamilton?
Yep.
Girl.
That was the weekend that my life changed. Yeah. And I didn't know just how much until probably right now.
So that was like this week. Was it 3 years ago? 2 years ago?
Almost three.
Yeah,
Time flies when you're having fun.
Tony rehearsals are happening this week.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
So you left Hamilton after like a brilliant run as this iconic character, the Bullet. Was the Bullet even in the like cast breakdown? You were just an ensemble track, right?
Yes.
But you became known.
It was awesome, you know, and I give praise to Andy Blankenbuehler because the idea to have the Bullet personified was all him, and I'm grateful that he gave me the space to allow for what became this character to be so present, which is honestly, I think, what I do best. It was like one thing I do know about myself is I have stage presence, and to represent, you know, a woman of color as kind of she's like one of the pivotal characters, like one of the Bullet within the context of Hamilton, to let that character be represented by a woman of color really meant a lot. And I loved that I didn't have to speak. I didn't say anything. Yeah. I was just there, and I think it was kind of a nod to women in general. You may not hear us, but we're always there affecting change. It's powerful. Yeah.
There's still a silhouette of you on the outside of that theater in a leaping pose. It's my favorite of all of the art on the outside of Hamilton.
Oh, thanks. I love the fact that I never did that jump in the context of the show. Tommy Kail looked at me in the middle of that photo shoot and said, "Can you do something impressive?" I was like what, Tommy? He goes, jump. All right. So, and that's what came of it. That was a good day.
And now you can peek out your dressing room window and see that theater from where you are in your my
new home,
Tony nominated role as Donna Summer.
It's I find it really heartening that I get to look across the street and see another show that I was a part of. I also love that I'm back at the Lunt because that's where I did Motown. That was my second Broadway show. And so it's all very full circle on 46th Street.
Yeah, and Bronx Tale wasn't too far away.
2 blocks up.
Yeah, and
Not a bad
St.
track
James,
record.
where Bring It On is just a couple blocks down.
Yeah.
And, one of my favorite things about Broadway is this kind of campus feel of all the buildings in the proximity of each other. And sometimes right at showtime, I look around and I think, this is probably the highest concentration of talent in any 1 mile square radius anywhere in the world.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
That actually is probably true, except for like, I don't know, maybe a night like the Oscars.
Right, sure. But on a regular,
ongoing basis. It's crazy. There's something in the water around here. We're all attracted to this one spot. It's very, very cool.
You have been working very hard your whole life to get here. You were 3 years old when you started dancing.
Yes, I was.
What does that look like? Are you just like, is your mom playing music at home and you're just moving as your body tells you to?
She always said that I came out dancing. Apparently I came out kicking and screaming. But I was told I always moved whenever music was playing. It started with a head bob, probably where I got my sass from. But she started me in dance lessons, ballet tap jazz, and I really took to it. I also became very competitive at a young age, so I liked being really good at the thing, and I would go home and I would practice in my living room with my little tap shoes and drive my mother crazy.
I think one of the things that happens, especially with, you were on So You Think You Can Dance, and a lot of these reality talent competition shows, I think people at home watch and think, oh, all you have to do is get on a show and then you're famous. Ooh. And they don't think about the work that goes into even being prepared for something like that, much less when you're there and then afterwards.
Totally. Well, that whole world is so vastly different from anything that I do today.
Yeah. I mean, you are dancing up a storm in summer.
Yes. I still use the same skills. In fact, I do credit So You Think with preparing me for the audition world. I will always say, if you can get through Vegas week of So You Think You Can Dance, then you can do just about anything in New York City. But, I will say as an 18-year-old, that experience was vastly overwhelming. I don't regret my time, but I do think perhaps if I had waited a few years that, mentally I would have been more prepared for what was going to happen to me, because it happens so fast. And it can be a dog-eat-dog world out there. And it's also a television show. I think we as a society, we watch these competition shows and we're like, oh my gosh, this looks really easy. I had trained since, I was 10, to be on a show like that. But you don't see the behind the scenes. You don't see everything that goes on. We are so sublimely unaware of how those decisions are made. And I did not understand that show business was a business at the time. So the greatest lesson I took away from that was that it's not personal, it's business. It's gonna hurt sometimes, but it's almost never personal. So you got to do a little growing up, I think. So that would be like my one takeaway, is that I wish I had understood that at 18.
I went back and watched some of the videos of So You Think, and first of all, seeing like baby Ariana is so adorable, especially the scene of you riding around on a tractor.
Oh yeah,
and the
let's
film her at her farm in North Carolina. And then you're like, it's so embarrassing. I'm talking about tractors on TV.
Literally, I was like, these are my cows, and this is my grandpa, and this is what we do in the summer. And I literally was wearing a plaid shirt. I remember that. Just how very on brand could I have been? Oh, but it was fun.
And look at you now here in New York City, and you're like, you look perfect head to toe, and you're going out to work on Broadway every night.
It's crazy when I think about where I started to where I am now. I'm really proud of the journey, because it's been quite the journey, and one I didn't necessarily see coming. I knew I wanted to dance. The singing and the talking part of it came later, as a result of me just wanting to continue to challenge myself. But the rewards that I've been blessed to receive as a result of me just saying yes to a new challenge and trying new things are, it's priceless. It really is. I never thought I'd be sitting here talking to you with like, AOL build, hey, like so exciting. It's like I've watched these videos, not even 2 years ago. I was like taking notes off of them from my favorite actors and actresses, just trying to figure out, okay, well, that really works for them, and maybe I should try that when I go on stage next time. it's funny that now someone might watch this and take a note. I hope I say something interesting. I'm sorry if I don't.
It gives me goosebumps to think about the people who are watching now thinking like, I'm going to work really hard and I'm going to do it. And then 2 years from now, they might be sitting up here too.
It's cool. You just never know. So always say yes.
I think that what you were saying about singing and acting coming later, in a weird way, it reminds me of part of the storyline of Summer, because she was this disco queen, and then she tried to like release a legit singing like vocal track, and she, even though she had this incredible stellar voice, nobody wanted to give her a chance to do that.
Right.
Did you ever have any experiences where people were like, you're a dancer, like leave the singing to the professionals?
Oh, totally. And honestly, still have them. I still have them.
Your voice is incredible.
Thank you. It's something I work at. Like, you know, dance is my first language. So that part of it comes easy to me. It's something that I think I was just born with. But I work very hard at my singing. I also am kind of a nervous singer as well. So
What does that mean?
I literally get butterflies every time I have to open my mouth. Like the second I have to go,
Was that the first line of?
anxiety.
I think I recognize that note.
Yeah, that's the first thing I sing in the show. And I'm like, if this doesn't go well, oh no, please, 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 please. I just want you to like me. I just want you to go on the ride with me. Because, you know, the first thing that I realized when I took this job of Summer was that these people, no matter what else I did, were coming to hear the music. So I had to make the commitment to becoming a better vocalist, because even at the end of the day, when we still call her the disco queen, she was an incredible vocalist and understood her instrument backwards, forwards, and all the different ways. So I've had to essentially get to know my instrument as best as I possibly can. And it's brought me a lot of humility. You know, I wouldn't say that I have any limitations, but I definitely have had to humble myself and basically just try any new technique to make this as effortless and as easy as possible, because Donna didn't sweat. You know what I mean? That voice didn't sweat.
Do you think that's true, that she, like, clearly it was not effortless for her either, right? She had struggle too.
Of course
she
she had
must
struggle.
have sweat behind the scenes, even if not when she was on stage, right?
I think for sure. I mean, that's the point of the piece. She vocally, her struggle didn't lie there, you know, or her struggle did not lie with the vocals. It lied with the other things that were going on in her life.
It was her first language, the way dance is.
Yes, exactly. So, you know, and she wasn't a dancer. So I think our struggles are reversed.
Yeah, but I can see how it would be easy to use that experience, you know, even if it's a flip, to just color the acting.
Oh, absolutely.
The emotional journey.
Absolutely.
And I have to say, there was in watching these So You Think You Can Dance videos, there was an intro video. I think it was the first time you were shown on the show. And the choreographer you were working with referred to you and said, the best actors make the best dancers.
Oh.
And he saw it back when you were 18, what you are now doing on the biggest stage in the world, bringing A+ acting and the dancing that comes along with it.
Thank you.
I'm really proud of you.
Oh, Laura, thank you.
I also just want everybody to go see what happens in a room full of audience members when these three incredible actresses embody Donna Summer. Coleman Domingo, who was one of the co-writers on the book of this musical, was here a few days ago, and he was talking about people literally dancing in the aisles, not just theoretically dancing in the aisles, but and not swaying.
No, they are
full on boogieing.
Like boogieing, interpretive dancing. Like it's real. People go ham, for lack of a better term. They really do. I think this show transports them back to some of the most joyous times of their lives, and that to me is what it's all about. You know, bringing joy. But kid you not, they sing, they dance, they carry on. They kind of shout at you sometimes too. They're like, "No, girl, don't do it."
It is like the one show that I can think of where the audience is so involved, and I don't want to turn around and be like, "Can you please stop singing?" It's like, I'll just sing too.
Yeah.
This is the closest you can get these days to seeing Donna Summer live in concert, and it doesn't disappoint.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I mean, I think our audiences are really enjoying it, and apparently we're starting to get people who are coming back once, twice, 3 times,
Yeah.
and that's really exciting. We do this because we love the audience, we love her fans, and the fact that her fans, like Donna's fans, are beginning to get behind the musical is amazing. Like, that's a big deal.
It's also a big deal that her family was involved in the creation of this.
Yes.
Because I think without their blessing, some of the fans might feel a little bit like
For sure.
they should keep their distance. But this is, I got to talk to Coleman about his, getting to know the family pretty intimately and how much input they did have. And I think that that's really significant when you're bringing an artist's work and legacy to the stage.
For sure. Bruce and Brooklyn in particular, Bruce, her widower, and Brooklyn, Sudano, one of her daughters, have been so supportive. And literally anytime I was feeling down, or if there were so many changes going in and I felt walloped or overwhelmed, they were right there with a text message saying, "You got this. We love you. We appreciate you." And they never had to do that, So I feel so honored that I get to portray this woman that, they love so much every night, and that they have been just an endless source of support for not just me, for all of us. They love our cast. And that's priceless.
You're part of the family and part of the legacy.
Yeah.
Let's take a couple of questions from our audience.
Okay.
Who has a question?
Hi.
Oh, over here.
So you've played a few different roles where you're portraying real life people. Has there been more pressure when you've done that, when you played a real life person, and have you learned anything new about that person while because of the performance or because you're playing them?
Good question. I think when you're playing a real person, at least what I have learned is that you're never going to be able to impersonate. That's not the point. I had decided that my job when I'm playing these people, I believe you're referring to when I went on for Diana Ross and playing Mary Wilson and the Supremes. Like, these women were icons. The best thing that you can do is do all the research, learn everything you possibly can, steep yourself in who these people are, and then go on the ride of whatever text you're delivering. Because if you can hear their voice in your head, then you're always going to be spot on. Ultimately, as an artist, my goal is the truth. I've also learned that you have to sort of be careful who you talk to, because, someone who is so beloved, it's hard to allow them to be seen in a vulnerable position at times. So it's my job to be delicate, but also to tell the truth and find a way to present this person to audiences that is both, a performance filled with integrity, honesty, and a fair interpretation of who they were in all facets of their life.
That was like the best answer to that question I've ever heard. I've heard a lot of actors answer questions about portraying real life people, and you said that so perfectly.
Oh, well, I really believe it. I'm not Daniel Day-Lewis. You know what I'm saying? like the way he approaches playing a real person, like, whoa. But for what it is that I do, like, that is what works for me. I was like, I would be doing Donna's memory a disservice if it was my goal to sound exactly like her, or to try and like mimic every single gesture she ever made, because I don't believe that that's ultimately what people were drawn to about her. There was an energy, a spirit, yes, the sound, but it was Donna, the person people loved. And there's more to a person than just what you see on a video screen. It's this.
Well, you have to
That's
bring
hard to be
your
captured.
emotional truth
Sure.
to it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's a caricature.
Totally. And nobody wants
This
that.
is not a caricature.
No.
Let's take one more question.
Hi.
Hi.
What's your favorite Donna Summer song?
Oh, I have too many.
If you had
I
to
go back and
choose.
forth. I kind of love She Works Hard for the Money right now. I mean, it's 2018, and we all need a good anthem song, and that works for me, for real. Because do we not work hard for our money?
We
Every day. Yeah. Thank you.
Do you still listen to Donna Summer every day before you go on stage?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
What are your warm up songs, or the ones that get you right into the place you need to be for the show?
Well, there are a few. I mean, Love to Love You, Baby, obvious, the first thing I do on the show. But to me, that's just such a like Beyonce song. So I feel like a rock star and I warm up to it. But I also listen to Dim All the Lights. I listen to it for a few reasons. We do a different version of it in the show, but it's one of my favorite examples of a lyric that contrasts a disco beat, you know? So if you really listen to those words, they mean something very different than the sound that you receive. And then I don't perform this in the show, but I listen to I Feel Love because nothing beats that. Dun, 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 dun. It's just iconic. And it puts me in the right space.
Yeah.
I can do anything if I listen to that song.
This show, I should mention, is a quick one. It's under 2 hours. There's no intermission. You go in, you like get immersed in the disco, the Donna, the blue
Studio 54, all of it.
And then if you want to have an act 2, there's actually a dance party for the audience at the restaurant next door at Bond 45. Where you just like go down and like get to dance to the Donna Summer hits. And sometimes the cast members are taking part in that too, which is extra fun. I want to close by saying, I watched a video today of that you made the day you made your Broadway debut in Bring It On Broadway back in 2012, which was not that long ago, considering all the things you've done in between. And it starts with you like leaving your apartment and getting coffee and going to the theater. And there's a moment where you're like crying, thinking about your mom and how grateful you are to her. But the video closes with you on the red carpet with your hair all slicked back and you're super glammed up. And you look directly to camera and you say, "This is the beginning of something I can't even begin to imagine." And I look at you now and how far you've come.
Didn't imagine this one.
But here you are, and you were right. And you're just getting started. You're just getting started. I'm so proud of you,
oh my
Ari.
God, thank you for that reminder because I'm not, oh God, see, I don't like getting a little emotional. I save all that for that at night. But, you know, I think that's just a testament to like intuition and following your heart. And even when people might think you're crazy, just go for it because you just never know. You never know. And I've met so many cool people along the way. And I was right. I never could have imagined anything that's happened, specifically in the last 2.5 years.
But you knew you were going to work hard for your money.
Heck yes, honey.
And you're doing it every night, 8 times a week in summer, the Donna Summer Musical. Tony-nominated Ariana DeBose, everybody.
Thank you
so
love.
much for coming.
Thank you. I love you.